watching Fintech Wave.
What's up, everybody? Hope you're well. This is Ken from Fintech Wave, back again with another video. Today, what I want to talk about is the global reset. You've been hearing this term, and a lot of people may be wondering, when is it going to happen? It seems like it's going to happen any day now. There are phrases like flip the switch that have been floating around in the crypto community, or when is the switch going to get flipped? So this concept of a global reset has been pretty much growing in the general consciousness. The awareness of it is growing, and everywhere you look, you see signs that something is happening. And those are the types of things that I'm going to talk about in this video. The first thing I want to say is, as far as when the global reset is going to happen, it's already happening now. It's already underway. And the points that I'm going to make in this video are designed to support that concept. So the first point is banks are getting into crypto. All of the big banks, even the ones who just a couple of years ago were like, it's garbage. And even then, on the down low, they were stocking it up, right? If you really read the news, what was happening was a lot of bank websites were getting ransom attacked. And the hackers were like, if you want your website back, pay us this amount of Bitcoin. And they were getting beat up so bad by these hackers that they were actually buying Bitcoin on the down low to pay hackers ransom in case they got their website hacked. And that was like 3-4 years ago that started, or maybe even sooner. But I became aware of that aspect as far back as like 4 years ago. So it's not like banks got into Bitcoin this year or in 2020. That's not really what's been going on. They've been jumping on it for a few years now. But now it's starting to become part of the mainstream narrative. So the first point is banks are getting into crypto. All of the big banks. And we're seeing announcement after announcement. Here's an article talking about JP Morgan, recognizing that crypto is an inevitability. Okay? Another affirmation of big institutional players recognizing that Bitcoin is an inevitability is PayPal. Two big announcements regarding PayPal. One is that last year, August, September, maybe even October, I think it was October, they announced that they were going to roll crypto into their platform and allow purchasing and spending and trading of cryptocurrencies, the big ones to start with, Bitcoin, Ethereum, I think maybe Litecoin. That was huge, okay? And then recently, in the last few days, it announced that it was buying the crypto custody firm Curve. And Curve is a big player in the custody space. They custody for iTrust Capital. So, you have to look at it like, why, if crypto is going to zero, like some people like to say, or if it's just a fad, or if it's not something that's really going to be around for a while, why are these big banks spending all of this money? MicroStrategy is another company that keeps dropping millions upon millions of dollars in Bitcoin. All of these big institutional players are racking up on Bitcoin because they know it's a scarce asset and they know it's a safe store of value. And, if you buy into the Winklevoss argument, then it could replace gold as a store of value. And with where we're going with this global reset, I think Bitcoin, a digital currency or a digital asset or a digital store of value, makes more sense than a hard, heavy, difficult to store asset like gold filling that role. Okay? The next reason underlying why the global reset is already underway is the Coinbase Ipo, the biggest exchange in the United States that has made sure all their I's are dotted and T's are properly crossed, are now going public. And instead, they have so much juice that they don't even need an investment bank to take them public. They're doing a direct listing right to NASDAQ for self. And it's looking good for them already because analysts are already rating Coinbase before it even goes public. They're already rating it a buy. Okay? Coinbase has already gotten authorization to custody crypto. That's months old, that information, right? So they're a custody firm. They're a huge exchange. They're going public, and exchanges are becoming banks. So if exchanges are becoming banks and Coinbase is a big exchange that's soon going to be public, it's not far-fetched that Coinbase will probably soon become a bank too. So crypto firms are going to be banks. And banks know this. Going back to JP Morgan and these other banks that are buying into this crypto, they know that, if you want to be a bank and be around, you better have crypto as part of your whole repertoire. So all of the crypto institutional players, from banks to exchanges to custody firms, are all blowing up, okay? Crypto is what's happening right now. And the reason is the world is going digital. The reset is underway. And as I continue down these bullet points, it's all going to add up. Another firm that recently got bank status is Anchorage Custody, big custody firm, and now they're a bank. Okay, so more affirmation on the institutional side that crypto is a long-term thing. Another supporting fact is Kraken also last year got bank status. Kraken is a big crypto exchange. So you got Kraken's a bank. Anchorage Custody Firm is now a bank. Coinbase is going public, and everybody knows that Coinbase is probably going to become a bank soon too. It's a natural evolution. Another reason that they are a big deal right now is that they're getting ready for these institutional companies to start staking Ethereum, because there's a lot of money to be made in that, because there's a lot going on in the Ethereum ecosystem. And these big banks are definitely going to want a piece of that money. So you have Coinbase ready to facilitate that service for them. And Amazon as well. I talked about Amazon in a couple of videos, the last one and in a couple of videos before that. Amazon's right there in the wings waiting to help deliver decentralized finance or DeFi services in the cloud. So on the institutional side, crypto is the thing right now. As far as the global reset, all of those things I mentioned, right? Big banks, custody firms, exchanges becoming banks, those custody firms becoming banks. Amazon's in on it. Forget about companies like Aave, where they have DeFi things going on with flash loans and arbitrage, and it's huge. It's huge. What's going on in DeFi is huge, and banks are not even a part of that. That's another reason why they're running, scrambling to get crypto custodied up and be up in the crypto game, because they realize that their whole business model is about to undergo a drastic change. People are not going to be stepping to banks anymore for the kinds of services that they used to step to them for, because now you can go on the internet and do blockchain transactions on the Ethereum blockchain with a smart contract that cuts the bank completely out. All right, this automates the banking process. So these banks that have been in control for years and years and years, a couple of years ago, they were like crypto schmipto. Now they're like, uh-oh. So they're really hustling right now to get their crypto act together. And that catalyst alone, just the threat of what DeFi can do to their market share, is enough to make the prices of crypto stay stable and continue to rise, because these banks have to acquire crypto to stay relevant. All right, moving down the line. Central bank digital currencies. We all know the United States is dragging its feet, but the rest of the world isn't. China's leading the game. They've been up and running with a pilot platform since last April. So now they're approaching what is about to be a year's head start on the United States. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And we can't even get clarity on the regs. Hopefully that will get resolved soon. But meanwhile, China's way ahead, and country by country is falling in line. Last year, the Bahamas announced their central bank digital currency. Just a couple of days ago, Cambodia's got a digital currency now. They're jumping all over it. India was talking about, crypto's banned, but I see from yesterday or the day before that they're starting to come back around. How are you going to ban crypto? Get real. You can't, if you want to ban crypto, India, then you're not going to be part of the global society in 10 years. Don't even listen to that. They can't ban crypto. Okay? So this is what's going on. Let's sum it up by saying CBDCs are getting adopted one by one. Countries are falling like dominoes, and eventually even the lumbering, slow, snail-paced United States is going to fall in line. And, that's when, like the flowers in bloom in the spring, that's going to be one of those things that make you turn around and say, hey, wait a minute, where'd that flower come from? The United States is like that magnolia that's about to open up. And when it does, that's it. So CBDCs are underway. Aside from CBDCs, you have, the whole awareness of the blockchain ecosystem is growing every day. One of the big reasons for that is this whole NFT craze. NFT stands for non-fungible token. A non-fungible token is a crypto token that cannot be exchanged for another, like a crypto kitty, unique, right? And because these things are unique, they've caught on and they've become a very, very valuable form of digital collectible. And some of them are selling for millions of dollars. One NFT by an artist named Ipo just last week sold for $6.6 million. $6.6 million on the evening news will make anybody's eyebrows perk up. So crypto is a household term now. In all kinds of different ways, crypto awareness is building. But all while the awareness is building, all of this progress is already underway. Like This feature image that I have for this video shows the globe encircled by like this wireframe grid. And that type of wireframe grid, that really represents blockchain, right? In the crypto community, that's the imagery that is used to depict blockchain. So when you see that in fintech, it's probably something that has to do with blockchain and crypto. Okay. So in that sort of graphic, crypto people, just forgive me for a moment. I'm just going to break it down for people who might not be all that familiar with some of what's going on here. The dots, each one of the dots represents a node. Okay. And that's an example of what decentralization looks like. Instead of it being one node in the middle with everybody connected to it, it's a bunch of different nodes spread out. It's not one central node. The nodes are decentralized. They're all over the place. So when you hear people talk about decentralization, what is it? That's what it is right there. Speaking of nodes, Elon Musk's company Starlink is all the talk right now because they did a recent satellite deployment and they're already underway and the test trials have been good. The feedback that I'm seeing is it works really well, right? So they're using satellites to bring internet to people in places that couldn't get internet before. And satellites are digital technology. And a lot of people are saying there are going to be nodes on these satellites, probably so. But even if there aren't, right, if the satellites are bringing broadband internet, the node could be sitting in California. As long as the satellite is bringing you node access, it amounts to the same thing. So that whole aspect of the world being ringed by a decentralized node infrastructure is becoming more and more accurate. Yeah, we'll still continue to have cloud companies based on Earth, but we're going to have a bunch of satellites in the sky with no deployment as well. So this is what a decentralized framework looks like. And Starlink is going to make it accessible to more and more people who are in places where internet wasn't even available. So now access to the internet and blockchain and all of the things that come with blockchain, like decentralized finance, the fact that some people who couldn't get a bank account aren't going to need a bank account. If you've got access to the internet and you've got a smart device and you can log on to a site like Uniswap or Aave, you can participate in DeFi and you don't need a bank anymore. It's just a whole new thing that's already underway. All right. So aside from satellites with nodes on them, when was the last time you heard about the war on terror? Seems like when one narrative is no longer useful, it kind of just goes away. Now it's a health crisis. And, I just don't think that it's a coincidence that you have this situation that keeps everybody kind of like on ice. That is the perfect condition that you need to be able to do a reset. And even Bill Gates said this years ago. You would need a global pandemic to be able to reset the economy. So this is not me making this up. All right. This is the way it is. The pandemic is being utilized to be able to affect this global reset. And one thing I want to mention about the pandemic that's really kind of sad is, aside from messing people's lives up and messing up the rhythm of things and causing businesses to close up and things like that, you know what it does that's really creepy? Having to wear a mask takes away your identity, right? When all you see is somebody's eyes, and you can't see their face, it dehumanizes everybody. So now we really are just numbers in the matrix. Now I'm going to go further on my own kind of like thinking on this. Now, look, you got blockchain games, blockchain currency. You have the stimulus payments that are going out that are probably going to become a regular occurrence. This is the whole new normal now. Stay home, get a stimulus check. You don't got to work. I don't know. I guess they're going to have robots doing the work. So now you got masks taking away your identity. I mean, eventually, this is a possible outcome I see happening. You have these blockchain games that are all based on virtual worlds, right? And it's like, play your blockchain game, spend your blockchain currency. As the game's graphics get better and better, which they inevitably will, right? People are going to be putting on VR headsets, playing these blockchain games, going to the store in a virtual video blockchain game world and buying a loaf of bread with in-game cryptocurrency. The store in the game is actually tied to a bread store that has a blockchain presence in the game. This is crazy. This is like the Matrix inside the Matrix. And then, so you buy your loaf of bread with your in-game cryptocurrency and then bam, Amazon drops it off with a drone. Listen, the global reset is already here. This is Ken from Fintech Wave. Thanks for checking out this latest episode. If you like the content, please hit like and subscribe. Shout out to all the people who've subscribed already. I'm going to try to keep the quality content coming on Fintech. I appreciate you. And there's a link in the description. The Fintech Wave theme is now an NFT. See you next time, everybody. Take care.